When Culver Superintendent Colonel Lee Genelette returned from World War I service in 1919, he was armed with inspiration and a plan which would eventually blossom into one of Culver Academy's signature programs. No doubt Genelette, like so many, was inspired by the tales of air battles waged for the first time during the Great War, some of them by flying ace Elliott White Springs, CMA class of 1913, who penned the best-selling book, Diary of an Unknown Aviator, based on his experiences. There was also 1906 grad Reuben Fleet, who had flown the first airmail flight in history in 1918, and just 5 years later would launch Consolidated Aircraft, from which he designed and produced two of America's best-known aircraft, the B-24 bomber and the PBY Catalina flying boat. Knowing the availability of low-cost military equipment, Genelette purchased for Culver 3 Curtiss N-9 float planes from the U.S. Navy, and in February 1920, Culver's School of Aviation began.
Mr. Aeroplane Man, take me up to heaven.
With a hangar headquartered near the site of today's White DeVries Rowing Center at the east end of campus, the program boasted over the next 5 years more than 700 takeoffs and landings. Alas, the School of Aviation struggled with insurance complexities and difficulty obtaining parts for the increasingly outdated airplanes, and ultimately saw its end in 1925. 2 of its graduates, Cass Huff, class of 1920, and Harry Seidel, class of 22, went on to become well known in aviation circles. Huff had a significant impact as head of the 8th Air Force Technical Section during World War II, and Seidels started his own airline. Eugene C. Epley, class of 1901, utilized his Culver-earned flying skills and helped underwrite what would become the Eugene C. Epley International Airport in Omaha. Among other Culver grads notable in the world of aviation, 1936 alum Jay Zemer was one of 5 CMA graduates to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor, in his case for heroic action while piloting a B-17 on an unescorted photo mission during World War II. A decade after graduating from Culver, Ernest K. Gann, class of 1930, became a pilot and wrote more than 20 novels, many of them dealing with flying. Some of his works, including Fate is the Hunter, The High and the Mighty, and Islands in the Sky, were made into movies. In 1974, Gann was named Culver's Man of the Year.
Wait till you get them up in the air, boy.
1933 alum William J. Vanderkloot Jr. flew Winston Churchill over enemy territory on diplomatic missions during World War II, and John P. Doolittle, the son of the legendary World War II pilot Jimmy Doolittle, who flew air raids on mainland Japan after Pearl Harbor, was a 1940 CMA grad and a woodcrafter in 1935. In 1933, the Academy joined with the town of Culver in an application for airport funding from the Civil Works Administration and the Works Progress Administration, Depression-era relief measures. The collaboration with the town fathers faltered, and by 1940, the airport near the Academy Golf Course was operational, but under control of the school. It was also during this period that Knight K. Culver, descendant of Academy's founder Henry Harrison Culver, started his own aircraft company, and in 1939 released a highly regarded and today highly collectible small airplane bearing a name evocative of the school, the Culver Cadet. In 1970, Lieutenant General John W. Carpenter, the superintendent, led a successful campaign to open a new school of aviation at Culver, and in 1971, Fleet Field was dedicated, and Culver became the first high school in the United States to have its own airport and operate its own fleet of training aircraft. The following summer, the longest-lasting aviation program at Culver, that of its summer schools and camps, was launched. And even after the closing of Culver's airport in 2005 and the end of the aviation program during the boarding school months, Culver's summer aviation program thrives today, carrying on a proud heritage.